February 15th, 2025. By now, Ermes had already faced legends and monsters on the table, but he hasn't faced the monster yet. The monster Michael Todd. Known for his almost uncrackable pronator and the infamous King's move that had carried him to dozens of supermatch wins, Todd is a nightmare opponent for anyone who needs their wrist to dominate. And Ermes, despite his world-class back pressure, is usually at his most dangerous when his hand and wrist are intact. This was a clash of styles, and everyone knew. Round 1 Michael fires first and settles into his preferred position. The force is immense, but Ermes manages to absorb it. He doesn't panic. Instead, he begins to climb, rising above Todd's hand, searching for height inch by inch. With every surge, Ermes loses his wrist slightly, having to recollect at the center again. But he then swiftly switches into the flop press, leans in and with a brutal pressure, drives through Michael's sticky point. Round 2 Todd adjusts, hitting harder to the side and keeping Ermes outside of his shoulder. It looks dangerous, but again, Ermes rises, higher and higher, until he towers over Michael's hand. He transitions once more, shoulder behind his arm, and presses Todd to the pad. 2-0. Round 3. This is where things get chaotic. Off the start, both men slip, and the strap goes on. Michael pours every ounce of force into his defensive structure. His arm locked, his pronator very strong. Ermes attacks with everything he has. He starts rising again, surging. Seconds pass, and the longer it lasts, the worse it gets for Ermes. Michael can live in this position forever.
Now we got a situation where the press is not able to finish. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up, Michael Todd.
Ugly position again, and he is putting serious wear and tear onto Ermes Gasparini, who's trying to finish, can't do, and Michael again goes to that side pressure.
The mouth is open.
Nobody can do this like Michael Todd.
The Italian's mouth is open now, hard press. Winner!
And the referee calls the pin. However, Michael isn't satisfied. He argues with the refs, convinced that the call was wrong. The energy turns tense and the stage is quite heavy with drama. And upon the review, it is truly declared that no pin indeed occurred, and they restart. Todd switches gears, first threatening to press, then reversing out into his trademark King's move. Ermes then pushes into the press again, but he gets stopped millimeters above the pin pad. He tries surging again and again. Ermes keeps pushing but is unable to finish. However, before anything happens, a foul on Michael is called for shoulder under the table and Ermes is awarded the win. 3-0. The scoreboard shows a sweep, but anyone watching knows the truth that the match was very close. Todd's defensive structure nearly trapped Ermes for good in round 3, and the controversial fouls shaped the outcome as much as the pins themselves. Still, what mattered was the result. Ermes Gasparini had survived, he passed the test, and walked away with another win against one of the trickiest veterans in arm wrestling. This match again showed that even when Ermes' strengths are neutralized, he can adapt, grind, and find a way to win. But the biggest question still remained. He was almost at the top of the food chain, but everyone kept questioning, could he touch Levan again? Could he repeat or even improve upon the incredible performance from their first encounter, the match that made the giant look human for the very first time? Well, the rematch with the Georgian Hulk was set, and this time everyone was watching. Round 1, even slip. Then in the straps, Ermes hits hard off the go, searching for the same stop he once had found. But Levan rolls through immediately, taking Ermes straight to the pad. 1-0. Round 2 again an even slip. Then in the straps, Gasparini digs deep, trying to climb, trying to rise as much as possible. But Levan bulldozes anyways, unstoppable, shutting down every lane. 2-0. Round 3. This was the round where Ermes had stunned the world last time, halting Levan in his tracks. Could his story repeat itself? Out of straps, Ermes knows he has to try everything he can. He intentionally drives to the side, getting fouls in the process, in an attempt to put wear and tear into Levan's arm and hand. Once a proper ready go happens, Levan drives, but Ermes easily stops it and they get in the straps. In the straps, again Ermes does everything in his power to get the best possible position he can. Ready go, and Levan drives, and this time there is a tiny stop just above the pin pad. but it's just not enough. Fourth round, Ermes uses all of his warnings again, driving and getting fouled. They slip, and in the straps, Ermes knows that it's his last opportunity, his last chance to reverse the match. Ready, go? But it's simply not enough. Levan is way too strong. In round 5, the Georgian has already won, and he slows down his pace, but still keeps control. He still easily top rolls Ermes to the pad, 5-0. And that's the end of the match. This time, there were no breaks, no stops. Levan Saginashvili shut the door completely, reminding the world why he still stands as the most dominant, strongest arm wrestler alive. For Ermes, it was a bitter result. He had once shown that the mountain could be slowed, but in this rematch, Levan left no openings. Yet even in defeat, Ermes carried something forward, the knowledge that he had once pushed the giant to the brink. And that knowledge still keeps the fire alive. Because as long as Ermes is at the table, the dream of bringing Levan down isn't dead. In the future, Ermes would like to challenge Vitaly or Devon again, who are also on a climb to the top of the mountain. And it will be interesting to see which of these athletes come out on top.